Hey everybody, today is Wednesday, February the 10th, 2021, and we are still working on telling time and writing time to the nearest minute. Today's lesson is going to continue on with what we've been doing since Friday, where we are putting time on an analog clock. Now, in our real world settings, we see analog clocks as well as digital clocks. And we need to be able to use both of those to be successful in keeping a daily schedule, whether we're a student or parent or teacher or whatever job we're in, we have a schedule that we need to keep, and we need to be able to tell time to stay on track. We want to think about who has the time. How can we tell time to the nearest minute? Our lesson target for today's assignment and lesson will be, I will tell and write time to the nearest minute. So let's do another quick review of our clock and let's figure out what we know about an analog clock. We know that there's a short hand, a long hand, and a second hand. And in this case, my clock has a white hand. The one I have in my classroom actually has a red second hand, but the short hand tells us the hour. The long hand tells us the minutes, and the white hand or the second hand tells us how many seconds have passed. Remember that time is the duration of an event from the beginning to the end. Time can be measured using standard units such as seconds, minutes, hours, and days. Time also can be considered with AM or PM. Usually AM means morning, and PM means afternoon. Both analog and digital clocks are instruments to tell time. One of them gives a little bit more detail than the other, because usually with an analog clock there is a seconds hand that lets you know down to the second. Some digital clocks also do that, but normally if it's just one like our alarm clocks at our home that's digital, those don't give us the seconds on there. It just gives us the hour and the minutes. Time can be told to the nearest hour, half an hour, quarter of an hour, or to the minute, and I also even say to the second. We are going to be working toward learning how to read these analog clocks and digital clocks so that we can calculate the next skill that we're going to be learning, which is elapsed time. And that's the time that passes between the beginning and the end. And sometimes we have to figure out what the start time is or the end time is based on the information that it's giving us. So today we're going to be working on a problem about a train. A train is scheduled to arrive at the station at 11:23 a.m. Use your clock to show this time. Now I'm going to be opening up another tab that will show us a clock that you can use to solve this problem. And I will also include that link for that clock so that you can practice at home. But I want you to think about, how does knowing how to tell time to the nearest 5 minutes help us tell time to the nearest minute? And we're going to talk about that as we get through the problem. So I'm going to flip over to my screen that shows the clock, and remember we are going to be putting on that clock 11:23 a.m. So on this clock you are able to unlock and lock the hours and the minutes hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the short hand and I'm going to go ahead and lock this minute hand before we move forward, because I want it to stay still for now until I finish the hour hand. So that time said that the train was to leave the station at 11:23. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to my with my short hand, the hour hand, and I'm going to take it to the 11. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock it. I'm going to unlock that minute hand because it said that we were going to go, that it should arrive or leave the station at 11:23. So remember we talked about how can knowing 5 minutes help us with calculating to the minute. So I'm going to look at this clock and remember that this clock from 12 to 1 is 5 minutes. And then it keeps going up 5 minutes each time. So basically every time that we hop to a number, it's going up 5 minutes. Now, I already know I need 20 minutes. And I also know that 5 times 4, because I'm thinking of multiplication here, is 20. So I know that it's going to be at least here. Now, I need to get to the exact minute, and it said 11:23. So now I can hop 1, 2, 3. So I've already gotten my minutes in fives to here, and then I have to break it down now into 1 minute hops. And my time was 11:23. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that. Now, once you get your clock set, you can click on Show, and when you click on Show, it gives you the digital time. Now, mine is not showing 11:23, so I need to go back, and I need to work on getting my time a little closer, because it's probably going to be somewhere in between 11 and 12 since it's past 11. So did you see how the difference was? Let's think about that. It was right here, and I showed that time. Now look how close it is to 11, but it's not exact. So when I move it, and I already know that it's a little past 11, so I'm going to go ahead and move my shorthand just a little bit past 11. And then when I click Show, it shows me 11:23. So then you can unlock it, and you can do any time that you want here. Let's say there's a random time. So you can hit random, and it would show you what that time is. So if this is 10:16, remember, I can count by my fives till I get to 15, and then I can just add that 1 to get my 16. So reading that clock kind of reminds you of a number line, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later on with time. It basically is a number line put in a circle instead of just a horizontal line with numbers on it. Because we're going up in intervals, we can go up in intervals of 1 and 5 on our clock. And remember that on a clock, from 12 all the way around, it's considered 1 hour, but that 1 hour is consisting of 60 minutes. And each minute is 60 seconds. So when we're thinking of seconds, we know that for every minute, there is 60 seconds within that minute. So the clock tells us so much information. And hopefully you're practicing some of these at home. I will give you this link for you to work on this at home. And for today's assignment, you're going to be completing the problem of the day and then IXL T2. IXL T2. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and get your work finished so that you can enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.